Hey everybody, it's Greg Rice. We're here in the Bucket, Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and today we're going to talk about terminating your tenant here in the Ocean State. And the first thing I want to say about this is you don't need a reason to terminate that tenancy. I repeat, you do not need a reason. It's whose house? Your house. And you are in charge, you pay the bills, you are calling the shots. So that's a common misnomer that owners have, that they must give a reason with the termination notice as to why the tenant has to move out. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is send the 30-day termination of tenancy notice. And I'll put one up on the screen so you can see exactly what it looks like. It has to be a standard format to be recognized by district court here in Rhode Island. So if you make one that's your own or is omitting certain information, you might get knocked out of the box at court and have to start the process over. So you want to make sure that you use the termination notice as prescribed in the Landlord Tenant Handbook here in Rhode Island. And if you're watching from another state, your state will also have their own form and process to follow. So just keep that in mind. Now when you send this notice, you have to give the tenant a full, unobstructed month's notice. So today, for example, is February 19th. If I want to terminate a tenancy, I can't terminate them for March 19th. I can't terminate them for March 20th, 30 days out. I have to give that entire month of March unobstructed, meaning the month has not started, and they vacate by April 1st. So today, for example, February 19th, the earliest we can terminate somebody is April 1st, and that's no joke, okay? So that full month of March is what's needed to satisfy the law. And if you send it for a March 19th move out and the tenant moves out, you got lucky, but you made a mistake technically. So just err on the side of caution, give the full unobstructed month, and then on that first day of the following month, the tenant must vacate. And if they don't, then you have recourse to file an eviction for reason other than non-payment of rent. That's exactly what the eviction is called, for reason other than non-payment of rent. And it's a little bit more expensive because it's a little bit more time legally for your attorney to handle that. And I say attorney because you shouldn't be doing evictions yourself. If you're that smart that you know how to do them, you should be that smart to not want to do them. It's a bad idea. I've seen a lot of landlords that go pro se, they get knocked out of the box, they get taken lightly, people don't take them seriously, they make mistakes, they get emotional. Just pay the $500, the $600 to the attorney and ensure that it's done properly. So Nexus, we advocate on your behalf, meaning we go to court with the attorney. So you got a double shot, okay, on you, in your corner, rather. So that's very important to note. If that tenant doesn't vacate, right, you go into court for that eviction, you're probably going to be a month to 2 months before you get a court date. So keep this in mind as well. If this April 1st doesn't happen, maybe we're in court May 20th, June 15th, who knows? So the termination cases take much longer than the non-payment cases. And with non-payment, you can get the money at any time, you can get a payment plan worked out, a stipulation, but with the termination, after April 1st in this example, you can no longer take any money. Okay, so if the tenant doesn't vacate April 1st, on April 15th you file the eviction, and then they send you a check for April rent and you cash it, you just knocked yourself right out of the box. You can't go forward anymore. You have to restart that process, send a new letter, right? So I got one here for June 1st. And then there you go. You can collect May rent, but you can't collect June rent if they don't vacate. So it's very particular. It's very tricky to navigate these waters if you don't know what you're doing and it's your first time doing it. But just wanted to give you this nice, simplified recap of how the termination process goes here in Rhode Island, and just to highlight that you don't need a reason. Okay, don't give a lengthy heartfelt letter about this and that. It's useless. Just say you're vacating on this date, your lease expired, simple, done. No need for any elaboration. Now the tenant might call you, they might email, they might text you, and it's up to you if you want to engage. At that point, really, I would just say, I have other plans for the apartment. That's a simple way to navigate around it, and you do have other plans. It's being truthful, but it's not diving too into the details. So it really depends on your relationship with the tenant and your personality as well. How are you? Are you standoffish? Are you very friendly and amicable and want to make sure there's no waves? That's up to you. But for all intents and purposes of the notice, just send the standard form, mail it out first class, which just means with a stamp. That's all you got to do. You could send it certified, you could send it signature required, but it's not required by law. You just have to toss a stamp on it and hope for the best. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments field below. I'll get right back to you. Once again, Greg from Nexus Property Management, your property managed.